Gentlemen, welcome back to Dungeons and Dragons this week. Last session, a fair bit happened. We began with you all on the Vengeance, Dragon's Revenge, on your new as yet unnamed brigantine ship. After some plans were devised and a slightly egotistical speech was said to the crew, a raid on the Silverhold prison began. Ferocious battle commenced, and you found lots of loot. Eventually, lots of people who were captured by Rashak and his cult of Tiamat. Kaiman finally met up with his clan, and his chief gave him some special raps and named him the Hand of Seku. One of these people helped you, lead you to Nessir's office, the former warden's office, where you found Felix's wife and daughter in a hidden room behind a bookcase. Both appeared to have been branded similarly to several followers of Tiamat. Gylndan also found some notes on something called Yggdrasil, a strange tree that Gylndan saw in his dream, well, in a vision portent. There are a lot of papers and old notes, so you may need to spend some time to decipher these still, but you know of them. After you all finally went back up in the main courtyard, you made some plans for where to go, and you set off upon the high seas again. The halflings of Dawnport heading back home. Many of the captured sailors agreeing to join to your crew, and Kaiman's clan taking advantage of the now empty jungle island. They're going to make that their home. After a few hours on the ocean, Gylndan decided to teleport to the capital to meet up with Moraine, his mentor, who met him outside the crumbling remains of the Wizard College. Some advice was shared, and as was a kiss, as Gylndan realised his feelings for his mentor, after all this time, were a little different than they were before.
She's a male.
We now pick up with the two of them heading back to the Westland Tavern to meet back up with the rest of the Guardians. Now, Gylndan, as you're walking through the quiet streets of the capital, it is like maybe 1 to 2 a.m. now. It is very, very late. And you've always known Moraine as a fairly sort of confident person. You know, in all your training and stuff, she didn't mind. You know, she was someone who only ever really spoke when she had something to say. She never wanted to fill silences or whatever. But in this time that you're walking back to the Westland Tavern, you can definitely get a somewhat sense that she is kind of trying to fill the silence a little bit after what's just happened. She's holding your hand. She's telling you about sort of what happened in this past week. She's telling you about, you know, first the stories of Lazarus and about how the Guardian said they went to the Shadowfell to kill him, and then there was also this other guy, this knight that's come back, Sir Galahad.
Sounds like a wanker.
He's been helping the Guardians, and you know, she tells you then about sort of the meeting you had and how many of the counselors are like evil now and were sort of found helping. And she basically gives you a basic outsider's run through of pretty much the entire last arc from her perspective. So she doesn't know the specifics, she doesn't know the details, but she knows a basic of what happened. This is how, you know, this is what
She doesn't know that we almost all died in a basement because we launched a fireball trying to kill some shadow wraiths.
Yeah, she doesn't know any of that. And but after her just sort of talking, and it's not, you know, it's not like, you know, schoolgirl awkward kind of thing. It's, you can just tell that she's talking a little bit more than she regularly does, but she is still keeping her very professional and somewhat, I won't say serious tone, but, you know, her companionly tone with you, I guess. Sort of telling you everything that's happened. But you do eventually make it back to the Westland Tavern, where you can see Torvund, the dwarf patron of the bar, the sort of salt and pepper beard and haired old dwarf that runs the Westland Tavern, just sort of outside. He's cleaning away some of the chairs outside. He's clearly now like shutting down the bar, pretty much. He's sort of like closing up some of the fallable chairs and bringing them inside, and he's got like a rag with him, so he's like wiping down some of the windows for the last time before the evening closes.
My friend, who did you say was here of the Guardians?
Oh, well, there was the dwarf, there was the grey-haired one. Oh, Yeah, and a little bit later on, the darker-haired one with all the armor and everything, and his tiefling friends, they came in as well. They said they'd been up at the temple or something, helping the cathedral cleaning up there. I think pretty much they're all here. Oh, and the one with the hand on his face, Councilman Daviak, I believe.
Councilman? How desperate have things gotten? I'm joking. He's a fantastic individual.
Right. Yes. I guess you probably haven't been here for a little while. Yeah. Lots happened. Well, I'll tell you what. You lot have been pretty good to me here. Are you coming in for a drink?
Yes, I'll have a little drink. I catch up with my fellow guardians.
All right.
Don't know who Damo is, but I'm sure it'll be lovely to meet him.
I'll go. You can go get them up. They're in rooms 2, 3, 4, and 5. Here, and he basically just hands you the key. He clearly looks like he's had a very, very long and busy day. He's got like some bags under his eyes, and he's like, "I trust you to not break anything. Please don't drink me out of the bar. And yeah, leave some. I'd appreciate it if you could leave some gold behind tomorrow to make up for any expenses. But yeah, just make sure you lock up when you're done. I'm hitting the hay. Any problems, knock on the door." And he hands you and Maureen the keys and sort of waltzes back into the thing. Oh yeah, and room 6 is free if you need a place to stay.
Oh, thank you. This is why the Guardians love this tavern.
Yeah. Good night. And he wanders off into his house. Clearly, a very like you've always seen him as a very sort of jovial patron of the bar, but he's now clearly really tired, really tired, and so he's out. So you're left alone in the bar with Moraine, who is already sort of like wandering over to the glasses. She picks out a wine glass and a bottle, uncorks it, and is beginning to pour herself a drink. And yeah, you can go up and get your fellow guardians if you'd like.
Yeah.
All right. So head upstairs.
I'd only get Griffin. I've never met Galahad.
Oh yeah.
I'd let them get it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, he never really told you which door each person was. So, JJ, pick a number between 1 and 4.
Hold on. 2.
All right. Sam, roll a d4 to see if you get Doc's door.
Oh shit.
As funnily enough, Galahad, there's suddenly a on your door, very, very late at night. You've had a bit of a weird night's sleep. You two have had a very long day. All you guardians, so this is the other group now, you guys have basically spent the day in and out of meetings and rushing around having people ask you. Today has been a meeting. You've had a meeting in the morning about, like a council meeting in the morning, basically being like, all right, so what the fuck do we do now? Obviously, if you're free enough to make it, unless you had other plans for your characters. But so there would be that meeting in the morning. Then in the afternoon, Doc, you would have been chased down by several priests of places. Like messengers went out trying to find you. Galahad, same with you, pretty much. Of like, hey, what the hell do we do with what the hell do we do with the cathedral? We need to we'd like your input in where we should do our practices from now. What temple of what god we'll basically share a temple with and do some of our practices in. And Griffin, you probably would have been consulted by Daviak a little bit, but also by the sort of Temple of Tyr and several just lawmakers in the city, guards and other things. So it has been a long day of pretty much admin. Unless your characters want to do anything else this day, unless you had any other specific plans, that is basically what everyone else wants you to do. What you want your characters to do is entirely up to you. But yes, Galahad, you wake up after a fairly deep sleep. Someone's knocking at your door.
What the devil is going on? Who goes there?
Sorry, I think I've got the wrong room. I'm looking for Dokramir or Griffin.
Can I open the door with my sword in hand?
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want with Dokramir?
You must be Galahad or Damien. Although I get the feeling you're Galahad.
Yes, I'm Gylndan.
Would I know of Galahad, Ben?
Make a history check.
Oh,
Not
really,
IDC, but make one anyway.
really good at these. Oh, really good at these.
Oh, you are good.
Yeah. So you look at the sword that he's holding, and you think the name Galahad, and you're like, wait a minute. Ryan said some old guy, this surely isn't like the Galahad, the guy from the legends. Think like, very like Arthurian legends of...
You're not the... Are you a descendant of Galahad?
No, I am Gylndan. As so far as I've been told.
Okay. I know it's possible for you to be alive. I don't understand why.
Dark magic. Very dark magic.
Okay.
And divine intervention.
Well
remembered.
Could we get my friends up? And are you a part of the Guardians now? Are we just taking any old riffraff? That's a joke. I'm not very good at them. It might be a little early.
Just look at him.
Are
you a friend of Dokramir?
Yeah, no, good friend.
First door on the left.
Just shuts the door in my face. Thank you. And we'll be discussing things downstairs if you'd like to join.
Generally.
Are you in like those old man like stockings?
I've got one of those nightcaps on, long night robe.
What the devil? Right, okay. I'll go get my friend Doc.
Oh yeah, Doc, you hear a knock at your door. You've also had a very deep sleep, long day.
Just wake up groggily and just answer the door and be like, Gylndan, it's 2 in the morning. Gylndan, what are you doing here? Where the... And just like give him like basically just like tackle him in the corridor and give him like a big hug.
I mean, you're quite strong. I get off to the floor like a wad of paper.
I'm not trying to bring him down. Just
the bundle of sticks that I am.
I mean, also, I think, like, do you have a point of exhaustion, Gylndan? I think you might.
No.
Oh,
No.
no, you don't. You passed your check, so...
Efficient
yeah.
combat machine.
Yeah. You've had a long day, but yeah, you're pretty efficient.
Yeah, I'll give him a hug back and just say, invite him downstairs. Have a little tipple.
feels
You
like
you could do with one. You look like shit, mate.
Yeah, it feels like it's been months. And I think I only saw you about 6 days ago.
Yeah, it's been a busy 6 days, though. We've killed a dragon priest.
Same.
Touche, my brother.
You're nothing special.
Yeah, that's Galahad.
Who struck the final blow of your dragon priest?
I don't remember. Probably
I
Griffin.
can't remember.
It was the mighty Griffin, I believe.
Second-rate paladin.
Oh,
I just imagine, like, you say second-rate paladin, and then his door just opens. You what?
kicked off its hinges.
Like in full plate armor as well. Like.
You want some?
He's in plate armor and I'm in my nightie.
So you could, who's the second-rate paladin now? Always be on your guard.
I don't need armor to defeat you, sir.
No,
Griffin's not here.
I would say, like, yeah, Griffin, you're not in your plate armor, nor is Doc.
Griffin sleeps wang out, 100%.
And he's an asset, so it's even got his own little halo.
Yeah.
I see you brought your dagger rather than a big dog.
Oh, yeah. Has Griffin come out, or is Galahad just insulting the wall?
Make a perception check as Griffin.
Oh god, let me just whip up the old character sheet.
Have you guys leveled these other characters up, by the way?
Oh no.
No, I don't think so.
No, I
Oh,
haven't.
boys. You had 6 months to do these level ups.
To be fair, did not anticipate teleporting here, even though it was me that did it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's napping hard.
Griffin is...
Right, well, we'll head downstairs then.
Right. So, head downstairs. Moraine has already gathered, like, a load of like, flagons and stuff on one of the corner tables. And she looks at like this corner table and she's like, I can see why you like this place. Is this a plaque commemorating you all eating here once?
Yes, I imagine so. It was probably an Oramis concoction.
And there's a velvet rope.
That was 100% an
Again.
Oramis concoction.
Oramis.
Are they Okay.
There would be statues in here if he had the room.
Well, that's fair, I guess.
We have a house now,
hello.
though, so we don't have to stay here too much longer once it's been
I mean,
cleared
we've
out.
actually got 2.
Oh shit! Yeah, we do have
Yeah,
two.
well, the manor
How
of
we got
Dernstadt.
2?
There's a
Because
place in Dernstadt in there.
We've got Angus's
we
old
got
house
that.
as well.
yeah,
I forgot about
This is how we got up in the world. So
yeah,
let's
we've never been there.
keep saving the
Yes,
world, and you get
just-
real estate, the real prize.
We're now landlords.
Just for reference, the reason you're in here, not in the house, is because if you remember, that place is still being de-vampired. All the illusions, all the consecration, or the hallowing even, all that is still being sort of undone, and new furniture is being put in and different things like that. So they said that they would have it done either tomorrow or the day after. Come and check in on it.
For the sake of brevity, I imagine probably just have a catch-up chat, and then I think Gylndan would arrange to come back later. I've still got a few bits to sort with Oramis. I almost don't want to tell you what he's planning because it will just make everyone here worried. So, but okay, fine, fuck it. He wants to be mayor of the Shattered Coast. Stupid, I know. Yeah, a ruler of a town that cannot be ruled. But you know, good luck telling that guy what to do.
Galahad, you have never heard of the Shattered Coast in your life. Doc, you've heard the rumours of the Shattered Coast. You've never been there, but you've certainly heard the stereotypes of it, I guess you would say.
That sounds like Aramis attempting the impossible, knowing he'll probably succeed as well somehow.
I know that's the harrowing thing, really. Like they could have an entire colony behind him.
Do you remember
Scary.
how much he wouldn't shut up all the way out of the Underdark about killing Lolth?
Yeah, I do. I'm not a fan.
Anything else you wanna share about Oramis?
Yeah, he fought so poorly when we took on Rashak. He fought so poorly. He just hid behind a column and fired off some Eldritch blasts. You know how he does. Just, like you're midway through having a conversation with a bad guy, and then you just hear this pew pew, and you're like, oh, well, I guess we're blasting.
Lovely day.
No, he killed the dragon. We fought 2 dragons.
And
We
a
fought
beholder.
Rashak, the dragon priest, and it's like he's fucking here, isn't it? Yeah, we fought.
Remind
loads.
me not.
So we killed 2
not
dragons,
to
including
ask him about
Rashak.
it when I next see him.
Yeah, and do you know what's worse is it was actually unbelievably stylish, and that's coming from a man who has no sense of style. He mounted it mid-flight, and then stabbed it in the brain and rode it down into a cliff. It was. Oh.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
fair
I've
enough.
never
That
wanted
does
it
sound
to
quite
happen.
impressive.
Marines just sort of sat there like, hold on, can we just back up to the part where you fought a dragon? You fought a dragon and didn't invite me.
Yeah, no, well, it was. You were busy, weren't you?
Well, yes, of course I was busy, but no one's ever busy enough to see a fucking dragon, pardon
Right.
my
Right?
dwarvish.
I can take you to see several dragons right now if you want.
Okay, now I can't tell whether you're joking.
I would need to get. There's no teleportation circle up there, is there?
Yeah, there is. You have it in your book.
Oh yeah, I can take us right now if you want. I'm not going to because we've got business to discuss, but one day I will take you to see somewhere where you can see dragons.
She just sort of like stunned, like, uh... Remember, as far as she is aware, and as far as most people in the world are aware, dragons were fire-breathing evil things that tried to conquer Ambyr.
Yeah.
So she just said that,
We met some good dragons, although one of them did kill his wife. Was it his wife? Or his sister?
Why?
his sister.
Yeah.
Well, no, his
No,
wife.
it's his wife.
One of them did kill his wife, but he was possessed, so, I know plenty of court cases where that's been given as an innocent verdict. But, we've met some good ones. I've met our fair share of bad ones as well, where 2 of which are in the grave.
Okay. Yes, that would be lovely. I'm just gonna need a minute. And she continues to sip on her wine, and then begins glugging her wine, and she basically just downs the entire glass of wine. So, like, another, anyone? Yes, I think I could use another. And she gets up and goes and grabs herself another glass.
I need to return. I don't need to return tonight, actually. But I should probably return tonight because they're expecting me on the boat. But once we're done with Oramis's final little venture, we've been summoned to the tower by one Tiamat. So our business is not done yet. If as you say, you've killed a dragon pre-stock, then we're 4 down. And she was not very happy about it.
Did that seem urgent?
Well, it was an urgent summons from Tiamat, but
Okay.
whether we go or not is a different thing entirely.
Yes. Well, once you're finished with Oramis, I believe Griffin as
You
well
never
both
finish.
have business to attend to. Yeah, don't mind him. He's not the most sociable bunch. The way him and Galahad bicker, it's a bit like having Mazzy and Oramis back again.
Oh, is there as clear a winner as there is in the Mazzy Oramis situation?
No, it's fairly evenly matched. Both give as good as they get.
Fair enough. That's good.
But yeah, it would be nice if the 3 of you, Oramis, Mazzy, and Gylndan, that is, would be there to accompany me to Hawksmoor again.
Yeah,
my oldish
could do
friends,
that.
as you
We've,
are.
I must confess, we've built the slight circus in the absence of you guardians. We have a werewolf. We met another dragon. There's a 3rd dragon. He's friendly. He's a good dragon. And then I have a little apprentice who has actually been all right. I thought he'd get squished, but he's been good.
Oh, you've
and
managed to keep them alive. Good.
Yeah, Nathan's done all right. And then there were some other people as well. Who am I missing?
Guys!
Oh yeah, we met a giant lizard man who was quite helpful. We bumped into fucking Hercule. Hercule's alive.
Oh shit. How's he doing?
He's good. He might be in charge of a village.
Good for
He
him.
might, because it was taken over by one of the bad dragons, and now he is helping them to become a stronger population. So he might be their de facto leader. I don't know. So yeah, things have gone up for Hercule. So yeah, we might bring this Kaiman fellow along. A few of our companions will probably go their separate ways, but this Kaiman fellow, yeah, I don't think he's got much of a purpose in life, so we could certainly give him one.
What's he?
Seems a bit lost.
What's he like?
It's fucking stupid.
So like
there is not a single brain cell in there. Oh yeah. They get on like a house on fire. No, he's very. He was there when it mattered. He didn't flee. So an impressive fellow, if a little rough around the edges.
Sounds like he'll fit right in.
Yeah, I imagine so. But yeah, I'll bring everyone back. Probably how many days sailing away from Shadow Coast?
From the Shadowed Coast, about 8.
That's because we're going slow.
Yeah, I could get us all there earlier though, and then if you just need you to be there, Oramis.
I mean,
Although you're not much without your boats, I've heard.
I'd rather have my crew there.
Yeah, that's fair.
Gotta stat pad that election, you know.
So we could probably return in a week, 2 weeks, if you just keep. I imagine there's a lot to keep you busy here, but how soon are you wanting to head to Hawkswell?
Soon. It's not of dire need, but sooner the better if we can. If it needs to wait a little while, I'm sure it can do. If you come from you say you came from the college with Moraine, then I'm sure she's filled you in on everything that's gone on. There's a fair bit that he's doing here, so another week or so helping out here won't really, I'm sure won't change things either way.
Yeah, I think maybe now's the time to gather strength before we confront the boss lady.
Okay.
Right. Well,
in that case, I'll meet you. Do you want to meet to see the tower first, or should we do? Do you want to?
I think maybe we do the tower first.
Okay. In which case, I will spend a few more days here. Make my preparations. And...
I also found this, and I'll just pull out the Eye of Vecna.
Are you like actually touching the Eye of Vecna, like
with through a cloth?
Okay.
Through a mage hand.
Gloves on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll squeak it a bit. I bet it's squeaky.
Oh.
Nope. It is solid, hard, as if you're holding like a pool cue, like a pool ball.
All right, I'll bounce it off the wall.
Weirdly hard. Yeah, you bounce it off the wall, and this puff of like black smoke just once it hits the wall and bounces back into your hand.
Okay.
None of the most of you think much of it. Although you have been following, you have heard that Yara had the hand of Vecna, so it's actually him saying you have the eye of Vecna is probably quite worrying. Moraine also turns her head. You have the what?
Yeah, we didn't set out to get this. This was Nasir's prize. We cut it out of his face.
Oh, so he did find it then. Oh, okay. Okay. Be careful. Don't throw it against the wall. It could disintegrate the wall and everything. And what is it you're going to be doing with this thing?
I don't know, because where we found it is compromised. So I need to find somewhere safe to put it that no one.
Yeah, I mean,
As long
in terms of
as long as
finding
it is
safe
nowhere near
things,
the
I've got 3 vampire hearts. I need to stick somewhere still. So if you find a safe place for stuff, then
So 3 vampire hearts and Vecna's eye. As long as these things are kept very far away from the hand of Vecna, that will all be fine. If this was a TV show, a camera would slowly pan up to Griffin's room and into his bag where there is the hand of Vecna.
What happens
We
if,
shall
Lorraine, what
make
happens if those things come into
warrior.
close proximity?
Well, they can start to make people. Well, I don't know. I'm just basing things up. When Nasir was my tutor, that's what I helped him find. That's what he wanted to get, and I did helped him with research and helped him find it for a time before I realized what he was doing and his plans, and I left. So the story goes, if they're too close together, people can start getting paranoid, getting hallucinations, charmed essentially into sticking both of them on one person. After which point, a sort of avatar of Vecna can take over your body, find Vecna, and attempt to release him. Because if you have the eye and the hand and find where his soul is, that's how you release the god of whispers and awfulness. So might I suggest we just put that somewhere safe.
That was
far away
on my
from
list of jobs to do. Dispose of the Iron Vecna safely.
Yes. It can't be disposed of in the Regulus. It can't necessarily be destroyed. To destroy it is to only have it spawn somewhere else random in the world. It has a strange enchantment on it, like similar to that of a god.
Alright, well,
Best we put it somewhere.
Don't take that upstairs.
Why?
Yara had a dark, cursed hand that now
Oh shit.
belongs to him. I'll just point at Griffin.
We shall make a mighty warrior. One who can defeat everything. And he shall be... I don't know. Yeah, okay. Let's not combine those things. Maybe, unless we're desperate. You know?
Moraine, you can physically see a bead of sweat coming off Moraine's head. Okay.
I'm just trying to keep it light. I don't know if everyone else is appreciative of the fact that we're going to be taking on a god at some point.
Been there, done that, killed it.
Oh, is this Galahad speaking? I seem to remember he fled like a little bitch. Yeah, no, proper god, not an itsy bitsy god.
Anyway, so, Gylndan, you said your plan was you're going to teleport back. Everyone else is going to remain in the capital until such time as everyone is ready to then go to the tower.
Yep.
Is that what's sort of happening there?
Yeah,
Okay.
I shall
Is there any
return.
last bits you would like to, any last bits you'd like to say to the other team? Any last bits the other team would like to say to you before going?
I think I'll just say to maybe we'll need everyone. I think so. If we gather everyone, that means like
Yes, about that.
give Nevado.
Yes, you know our Minotaur friend?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he may or may not be possessed by a demon spirit now.
Oh, well, that's a shame.
Yeah, I think it's curable, but Tiamat did something in it and awakened some sort of draconic bloodline. Apparently, he had that he didn't even know he had.
No, so you remember that it was in fact a demonic bloodline, and very technically, Balzanor had within him the blood of Tiamat's son that she had with Torosov, the god of, well, the demon lord of fire, rage.
Yeah, so apparently he had some sort of demonic lineage. Yeah, so no idea where he's gone. But if there's a way to... I mean, we exchanged a message. If there's a way to summon a creature to you, we can maybe incapacitate him long enough for me to potentially remove this demonic spirit
Moraine
Well-
also says, I'm also sure we can use some of our divination power to find wherever he is if this summoning to you plan doesn't work.
Okay,
I've
well,
also got a.
if we still gather everyone at some point and then we
Yes,
can
I've got
make a
something
plan
else
on
that
who's-
we that I want to save at some point, but well, he's trapped on the plane of pandemonium, so
I said that's a story for another time.
I'll fill you in on that one later.
Who's in Pandemonium?
Someone docked.
Probably someone that befriended
Oh.
some figment of his imagination that got him through that torrid time in his life.
Yeah, there
actually
will
a
be
brick.
a
He
side
wants to
quest
save a
to
brick.
rescue a figment of Doc's imagination.
Fantastic. Well, do you know what, JJ? You can just do that session with Ben, just you two. The rest of us will have a little break.
All right, give me your characters. I'm doing a 4-man one-shot.
Right. So,
Yeah, so I'd ask him
yep.
to try and gather everyone. Maybe even reach out to that. I wouldn't know that he became a Gith Yankee, did I?
No.
Maybe reach out to that Mittens chap as well. Oh, Felix! Fuck, we bumped into Felix. I forgot to say that. He's got a wife and kids. And the kids aged like 30 years in a day. It was incredible.
No one here is Felix.
Except Griffin.
No dog hat. Oh, no! No dog. Oh, yeah, there's this little gnomish fellow called Felix. He's a mighty warrior, actually. He slayed Rashak. It was impressive. So I'll definitely bring him back. But if you could get Giri and Nevado, and then maybe that Mittens fella.
I will.
Let me just get everyone.
I will speak to Daviak and get everyone together. Do you want to come back here and all travel together, or should we meet you at the tower?
I think all of our. If we meet here, and then we can all travel from there.
Okay.
I have the capability to travel far. I feel like Nevado might have had the ability to travel fairly far.
Fairly far.
We can be very mobile. I also have a staff that has teleportation, so we can be very mobile from this location. So
I feel like one of my characters had a horse, but
had a horse.
I mean, Nevada is now 15th level. I know of some spells where, like you have access to a spell, which basically means that if there is a tree on the world that you know of, you can teleport to it.
Oh, wow. Magic.
So yeah, we have. I think we gather here, gather our resources, gather what we want to do and who we want to send where, and then we send everyone off from here.
Okay. I shall arrange a meeting. Perhaps this meeting will be best served with the council. To better plan a strategy of what Ambyr as a whole is going to do.
Maybe. I have no great love for the council, based on what you said about how they dealt with this, the safety of the citizens during the siege.
No, but perhaps together we can change that. We, as a collective, known as the Guardians, have been granted a seat on that council.
Oh.
So
I'm not going to tell Oramis that.
So we can be a voice for change.
Okay. Well, I agree with that avenue. Right, I must return to my shit bucket friends. So we somehow defeated the dragon priest together. I'll say goodbye to everyone, and then I'll just sort of pull Moraine aside, and I will just tell her that I've got ideas of rebuilding the college, and I've come into quite a bit of money after beating Rashak. So if she can maybe find ways of, rebuilding it, then I'm happy to try and help finance it a little bit.
Yeah,
That is my desire because it was a safe place for me growing up, and to see it crushed when it's such a
Oh, you know
strong
what happens
staple
when you
of
donate a
Ambyr.
load of money to a school? They name a building after you.
Well, there you go.
They build a new science building.
If I've played D&D for almost 3 or 4 years, I want an imaginary building named after me. That's what I want.
You can have the Alfor's divination block.
Absolutely. This is the end game. This is my
What
character
class you got
development.
next? Yeah, I got divination in Alfor 3. How about you?
Mate,
Yeah,
JJ,
I'm
this
over in.
is my wet dream, JJ.
I'm over in Merlin 1
Hey.
for enchantment.
A small side thing just before Glyndon goes, because obviously it was a very long time ago and it's just trying to remember it. But who had the letter from Rast for Glyndon?
Probably
I can't remember
Dark.
if Griffin took it
I'd have thought Doc.
or Bright. So
Yeah,
just...
that arc was very much just Doc and his merry band of mongs, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
yeah, I
and
can't remember.
I also have a corroding dagger and a bandolier of returning from Mazzy that I bought ages ago before Matt left.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, you can give those to Glyndon, and if you want, you can give him the letter as well.
Yeah, I'll give him the letter.
Say you RP'd that. Cool, Glyndon. You have a letter from Rast. That you can open at your own leisure. Yes, for the sake of expediency, Glyndon, you obviously say your goodbyes. Marine sort of goes to kiss you before you leave, but sort of hesitates and doesn't. You can tell she's still a little bit nervous about the whole thing. Doesn't really know where the line is drawn or whatever. But
wait, you said she went to kiss me and I didn't.
You you have a decent insight. You can tell that she sort of, you can see she sort of like starts thinking about it and then stops.
I'll just give it a kiss on the cheek and then I'll depart.
Okay, yeah, and then snap, depart. How are you?
Oh, teleportation circle, because I've used up my teleportation slot.
Give her a quick kiss on the cheek and then spend a minute.
Yeah, fuck off! Don't look at me while I do this.
It's the most awkward.
I've got to draw out the whole damn thing. It takes forever.
I'll see you later. Oh, you're walking this way as well. Oh, that's really awkward.
Everyone's just sat there with their drinks, just watching you draw with a bunch of chalk in the middle of.
I'd go into a room. I'm not doing this out for everyone to watch.
Yeah.
And then I get a slight bit
I
wrong.
can't
there.
teleportation
I'm like,
circle if you're all watching me.
Yeah. So you teleport. You appear within the Vengeance once more. As you appear, there is a small jingle on your side as you realise you've still got the keys to the Westland Tavern.
Bollocks.
Nice one.
But there you go. But yes, you're on the Vengeance. Everyone else is pretty much asleep. It is like 2 a.m. at this point. Anything anyone would like to do on this first night of travel, or generally, we're just going to pick up into the travel itself. So let me know if I got this straight. So you said that you were going to send one of your... Were you all going to Dawnport to drop the halflings and people off, or were you just sending one of the boats off to do that?
You've got 3 boats now, haven't you, Luke?
Mm.
Maybe the 3rd one goes there? If you want your crew with you for the old election campaign. Your main boys.
Yeah.
Your day ones.
Okay. So you begin to sort of like pass around the Dawn Bay, and one of your ships depart. As you're sort of going
Felix
around this place,
and
it
family
seems...
will want to be on that one.
Ah, yes, that was a good point. Yeah, which of your ships, your brig, your frigate, or the Dragon's Revenge, is going? I would say, like, remembering you've got about 40 halflings to deliver back to this town, and 5 people.
I figure if we send the brig, that's probably the biggest one to be able to carry them, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay.
Hang on, so is Felix going on the one that's going to Dawnport?
Yeah, so as all the halflings are sort of like loading onto the ship, and your crew is sort of split, so that people can get on this ship. Caspian says he'll captain this brig while it's going on this brief mission, because this crew will need a captain. And the Dragon's Revenge is essentially still going to be trailing behind your frigate. And yeah, as everyone's trailing on, you also see Felix and his family begin to sort of set up to leave as well.
Wee man, where do you think you're going?
Home. I found my family.
Oh, I thought it...
Mission is accomplished, and it's about time I spent some time with them for the first time in a long time.
Is this the day after, by the way?
This is the day after.
Okay, so after teleporting.
No, sorry. This is 3 days after your your trip to the capital.
Okay. Well, I guess in those days I'd have tried to convince Felix to, we have a big job ahead of us, and you're a very valuable asset we fought just now, and I've heard good things about you from Oramis before, and that man is getting praise from Oramis is like drawing blood from a stone, so. But I will not disrespect a man who wants to spend time with his family. So
I understand, and this adventure has taught me that. I mean, I always knew there were things in the world bigger than me, but there is a lot going on that's bigger than me and mine, and while it's, if you'll pardon the pun, while I do feel that if the dragon was right, if Rashek was right, and there's more coming, then we need to do what we can, but for the time being, I'd like to take what time I can to spend with my family. And when you need me, I'll be there to try and make this land a safe place for them again.
His wife whispers over to you at that point and says, "By family, he means the tools in his work."
Right, so this is 3 days since. Yeah, well, we meet in 5 to 10 days in the capital. So if you have a change of heart, we'll be there.
Okay. I think it'll take me a little longer than that to find my feet on the road again, but when
Could
I know you that shadow thing, that woman, whatever it was, she wanted you all to meet her at that tower, but depending on how once you've done that, let me know the lie of the land, and we'll go from there.
Okay. I suppose you'll be keeping that scale. Not very useful.
Pardon?
It might be very useful for people who are actually going to do some fighting. I don't say that. Might be very useful in our quest.
Indeed. Well, I'm hoping to have a little bit of time to figure things out. When you reach my age, you begin to see what's important, and certainly the recent danger to my family has really highlighted how much they mean to me. But I don't think this is the last we've
Where's
seen of
this?
each other.
Where's this all taking place? This
This is probably
conversation, just like on the deck.
Yeah, probably somewhere on the deck.
Can Oramis is going to walk past at this point, and just give Docs a little hug. Not Docs, sorry, Felix a little hug. So I'm going to miss you. Give Felix's wife a nice little hug, a little kiss on the cheek, and say, "Going to miss you too." And then finally, I'll say to his daughter, "If you ever want some adventure, little wink, you know where to find me." And kiss her
Fucking
hand.
hell.
It's at that point. So Oramis gives like the cheeky little wink, and then you hear some droplets on your shoulder, and you look down. You realize there's some white liquid on your shoulder just dripping down your coat.
Oh, Felix, fuck's sake, man.
A bird swoops by, and then in the middle of everyone transforms into Vaishal, who just lands on the deck. Oh, sorry, Orm. Did I get you?
It's a sign of good luck in the sailing culture. Sailing culture? Lifestyle, I don't know.
Well, good luck.
Yes, well, you speak of adventure and this one, and I'll just like Felix will like reach up and like pat one of his daughters like on the shoulder. She's got a bit of talent, so I'm going to spend a bit of time nurturing that while I can, as well as.
She does have that, my friend.
Oh,
Oramis did me a great favour. Oramis did me a great favour. It'd be so rude to kill him. I'm not above
well,
sinking his
safe
boat,
journeys.
She's also like 20 years older than me, though, isn't she?
Yeah.
You did always like an older woman.
though. They say the sea is a timeless
Right,
mistress.
Safe travels.
I'll see you all.
Hopefully hear from you soon.
Also, in this time, I'm assuming I've identified all the magic items that we found for everyone.
Yes, you had 3 days, so yeah, you can absolutely identify the magic items you found for everyone, and I will get those for you now. So, you found a magic ring, some magic boots, a sort of rod that looked like a pillar, and a very fancy coat. So the ring is a sort of small golden ring, and inside it had engraved on it to my precious darling. This, you find out, is a ring of invisibility. It is an attuned item, and as an action, at will, you can cast invisibility, the second level invisibility spell. Or at least, I can't remember if it's you cast that spell or you become invisible.
I think you just turn invisible with that, if I remember.
Yeah, I think it might. Yes, when you wear this ring, you can turn invisible as an action. Anything you're wearing or carrying is invisible with you. You remain invisible until the ring is removed, until you attack or cast a spell, or until you use a bonus action to become visible again. So, yeah, you can become invisible indefinitely, so long as you don't attack or cast a spell, or anything like that. A very, very powerful item. In fact, sort of looking over at Felix, you are astounded at the sort of strength of the magic attunement on this. However, yes, it does need to be attuned for someone to use it. The boots. These are sort of grey boots with a sort of like fine, almost like swirl patterns on the bottom. These are boots of levity. Whilst wearing these boots, you feel much lighter on your feet. You count as one class lighter when determining the weight of your character. So if you're a large creature, you weigh about as much as an average medium creature. If you're an average medium creature, you count as a small creature, things like that. You gain 10-foot increase in movement speed. And also once per day, you can cast the levitate spell from these boots. These aren't attuned. It's just anyone who sticks them on. The only stipulation is to cast levitate, you've got to click the heels together. So if your feet are tied or bound or whatever like that, you can't. Next up, the next item is the Rod of Instant Pillars. And we're going to get up my magic items page. Yes, Rod of Instant Pillars. This rod looks like a miniature stone pillar. You can use an action to set it down in an unoccupied space on solid ground or on a solid wall within 5 feet of you and speak its command word. The rod then expands upward or across, creating a pillar made of stone in that space. The pillar is a 5-foot diameter cylinder that grows upward to fill the available space up to 30 feet tall. Regardless of its size, it always weighs 500 pounds. While in pillar form, the creature can use an action to make a DC 20 strength check, moving the pillar on a success. If the pillar is moved in any way, it magically returns to its rod form. The pillar remains until it's moved, until you speak its command word whilst touching it to close it. Also, while it's in pillar form, it can be destroyed. So if you attack it and destroy the pillar as you would anything else, it's AC 18, 100 hit points, immunity to poison and psychic damage, it can be destroyed. There is a pillar. And finally, we have the Cloak of... So, there is this very, very fancy cloak. There's sort of like light, like a sort of like navy cloak with some almost silvery accents and some sort of wispy sort of accents on the bottom. A very, very powerful enchantment indeed upon this cloak or coat, as it is a coat of billowing. As an action, you can make the coat dramatically billow behind you, as if a dramatic gust of wind has blown you and makes you look very, very dramatic and cool.
I wonder who on earth will take this.
Don't know, mate.
Also, if used in the right situations, it might impress people, giving you certain benefits or things like that. Certain checks you might make. You never know. Lots of creative uses. But that is several things. The Seer's Staff is a Voyager staff.
I think you said that last week because I remember looking at it.
I think I did, yeah. So just so everyone knows, Voyager staff, you gain +1 bonus to attack and damage rolls made with this magic quarterstaff. While you hold it, you gain a +1 to spell attack rolls. This staff has 10 charges. While holding it, you can use an action to spend one or more of the staff's charges to following spells from it, using your spell save DC. So Banishment for 4 charges, Blink for 3 charges, Misty Step for 2 charges, Pass Wall for 5 charges, or Teleport for 7 charges. Staff regains 1d6 plus 4 expended charges daily at dawn. If you spend the last charge, roll a d20 on a 1. The staff vanishes forever, disappearing to a different plane of existence.
Just a heads up, Ben. I might, if it's at all possible, think of just mashing that one together with my Staff of Dunamancy. I don't know if that's something you'd allow, but...
There are certainly ways of doing such a thing. You would know in the Wizard College there are ways of combining magical items, but it is a very, very risky process in which you have the potential chance to destroy one of the items you're mashing into the other, or destroy both at the same time, like nullifying the enchantment.
Okay.
Taking it to a skill, like an expert in the field of doing this, would very much help. It'll cost quite a lot in materials, but you come into a lot of money. And essentially, the more money you put into it and the more time you give the person doing it, the more of a chance it will go successful.
Okay.
Well, I've only met someone who is a keen magical inventor.
And then they say it had a ring, and also what else did he have? Spellbook, bag of holding, and a ring. Was there anything on the ring if Felix identified it?
Let me just check my notes. Give me 1 second.
And anything in his bag of holding?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yes, and there was a bunch of stuff in his bag of holding. I will get to that now. So the ring... Possibly. The ring was a... here it is. The ring was a ring of evasion. Requires attunement. This ring has 3 charges. Regains 1d3 expended charges daily at dawn. When you fail a dexterity saving throw while wearing it, you can use your reaction to expend one of its charges to succeed instead.
Is that an achievement item?
Yes, attuned item. Sadly, none of you ever threw anything like that at him. And when I was playing him and he got hit by a shell, I completely forgot that he had it on. Things in his bag of holding. So obviously, Felix, you have a bag of holding. You know that tipping your bag of holding inside out reveals what's inside. So you find several things. You find more papers and different things that have these images of trees and stuff to do with this Yggdrasil, whatever that is. You find 2 superior healing potions, which he could have taken if he had any of his hands free during any of what happened to him.
It's a violation.
You find a small portrait painting of him and another man. The other man is sat down, whereas he is stood up, sort of behind him, hand on his shoulder. You think that maybe they were together, though you're not exactly sure. And on the back of it, it reads, "To my love, to Johann, I will find you." And you also find just lots of letters and random little bits. And you also have his spellbook. His spellbook filled with some spells that maybe you guys don't know.
We can run through that later.
Yeah. We can run through that later on. I can send you and JJ a list of all the spells that he has, and you can basically pick up which ones you used. But yes, that is pretty much everything on Messier's person.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. Before I leave, I do want to just speak to Kaiman briefly. So, I know you're working on this armor built from the dragon scales you managed to harvest. I'm hoping if there's anything left that I can pick up some from the dragon myself. If you had some time and were back this way, I'd be interested in learning on how your attempt went and talking through some of that with you. I just get the thumbs up. That's a good sign.
Carmen's just stood there like...
Just like...
Yeah.
It's a thumbs up fist bump. It's a new thing he's invented.
And you walk forward and go.
Who need word when few word do good?
Carmen, what have you been up to for these 3 days before you get to Dawnport?
I've been channeling my god in trying to perfect this armor into art.
All right. If you would like to do that, then make me 3 checks. So the first of which is a blacksmithing check. So just make me a strength plus proficiency. So just roll your strength and add 5.
Please. Okay, 20.
15. Oh no, 20. Yeah, that is a definite pass. Very, very good work as you start working on this thing. Now fueled by your god and the braces that you got as well, which help you out. Next, can you make me a wisdom check, please? This is you channeling your cleric energies into this item.
Damn it.
He's inspired.
15. Okay, you managed to do a decent job of it. You managed to, that's certainly not a fail. There are sort of like 3 degrees. There's fail, there's success, or there's major success. That is a success. The first was a major success. Now, finally, can you make me an attack roll with your donkey thing as you are sort of hammering things away with it, using it to your advantage. 14. Not quite good.
Still getting used to it.
Yeah, still sort of getting used to this new strength you're finding, and you find it's a little bit awkward. But with a major success, and a literally just on the verge success, you manage to create armor. Over the 3 days, you do create this piece of armor. If you would like to, this armor is of the basic form. If you would like, you can spend another day tempering it, which is basically making these checks again to try and improve it. Otherwise, you can leave it as it is. What do you say? Sorry, I didn't know.
Oh. Hello. No, I will work on it more as me and my god demand it better.
All right, make me a strength check, add 5, make me a wisdom check, and make me an attack roll with your smithing gauntlet.
Come on. There we go. Extra further.
Yeah. Very, very good on the strength check. A wisdom check. That is a
I
fail.
was so focused I forgot to think. And bonk.
And a 16 as a pass. So you manage to work on this armor. You don't, sadly, what we're looking for here is you rolling very high, so you need an 18 plus to get this to the sort of extra quality standard on all 3 of those checks. But, you know, you sort of temper it, you iron out the details and stuff, and it looks very, very nice. You have essentially what you've created is half plate armor with cold resistance. So, good job. You have half plate armor with cold resistance. If you want, you can wear it, you can sell it, you can do whatever you want with it. As you sort of hammer in the final parts, and you're sort of like just finishing up, and you're sort of just testing it, you once again almost feel that presence just on the sort of just over your shoulder, and as you almost look, there is just this like hooded figure there, and it says, "Good time, man. Good." And it sort of fades away as you finish its creation. But you have finished its creation, and yeah, you have a very nice set of armor. I will say you have one more. You can, over the next sort of few days on the ship, you can have one more attempt at doing this. But the problem is that this is sort of overdoing it now. So if you fail at that attempt, you can break the armor. You can ruin it. If you pass, you can make it much better.
Hyman is a gambling man. He may not realize that he is, but he does. So, yeah. Although his god told him that he did good enough, but he thinks it could be better. So maybe
Do it.
But also, I don't think I'm gonna be the one wearing it, so I think I ask the team, who wants this?
Half plate armor that gives you cold resistance.
After I'm going to call it. All right, Gylndan will just laugh. I can't. I physically won't be able to walk in that.
Puny man.
I don't think Oramis can he?
No, half plate is.
It's heavy armor, and I can have light and medium.
I mean, Gylndan, you do know some people in the capital who wear heavy armor.
Yeah, I would save such a creation for. I would relay also that we've organised this massive meeting, and I'd say there are some mighty warriors there who could benefit from such a wonderful peace, Kaiman.
I forgot that all my team members were puny.
Puny, do you want to go, son? I will do some stuff.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Cower.
I'll do
Cower in the face. So I guess I'll hold on to it, and then next time when I find someone worthy of it, I'll work on it more to fit them.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good. Okay. So that is you've created your arm. So to then sort of catch up. So Felix, you step aboard this brig. Do you have a name for this brig yet, Oramis, or are you still delivering?
Yeah, it's Ocean's Wrath.
Ocean's Wrath. So we've got the Vengeance, the Dragon's Revenge, and the Ocean's Wrath. Step aboard this ship, Ocean's Wrath, Felix,
Did you say
and
it was half-plate
you
armor?
head. Yes, half-plate armor.
That's a type of medium armor, by the way.
Oh, medium armor, guys. The armor is technically you can wear it.
Looking.
Gives you disadvantage on stealth, but it gives you AC of 15. I would say actually that it's also +2 armor. So it's +2 half plate. So base AC of 17.
What's your AC at the moment, Lee?
I think my AC is 17 in a minute.
Oh, we got some items.
Is it 16? No, it's 17.
So half plate would give you 19 because it is 17 plus your dex modifier to a max of 2, but you would have disadvantage on stealth.
Oh, that's a toughie.
But
How
You're
much?
not actually that stealthy anyway, are you?
you also
No.
do happen to have a cloak on your person, which gives you advantage to nullify that out.
Oh, yeah, so I'll take this.
If you would like to. That is if you're attuned to that cloak, because I think the Cloak of Elvenkind does require attunement.
Right, I'm just looking here. So I've got +1 magical cloak, which is all I've put.
Yeah. If you look in your bio, I embellished on it a tiny bit, but yeah, there's that. Oh no, Cloak of oh no, yes, require attunement. Well, that'll put your AC up to 20. Yeah,
Is this armor made of the scales of Arctothorn?
it is indeed
I
made.
mean, it's quite poetic that Oramis is wearing it then.
I mean, anyone, any qualms if I did take it? I'm
No,
happy
go
to
No,
leave it.
Felix can't. Well, Felix can wear it, but he loses a bunch of stuff he can do if he wears medium armor.
I'm guessing Doc's got better.
Yes, Doc has the Forge Master's plate that we got in the Underdark, so he's a base AC 18 plus his shield.
Cool. Can I ask Kaiman for the armor?
Yeah.
Please.
All right. So, Aramis, you don this. Kaiman, are you trying to improve it for Aramis?
I think the armor is perfect.
So, just to let you know, improving it would mean that as an action, 3 times per day, as an action, you can gain 20 temporary hit points. Sorry, 10 temporary hit points, not 20. That'd be insane. 3 times a day, you can just gain 10 temporary hit points, and also the armor would go up to +3.
Oh wow!
Kaiman, I've woken up this morning thinking this is the day you should do it. I really think you should do it.
Is this happening?
If he says you should do it, you should do it.
Is this happening before or after Felix departs?
I would say that the first 2 attempts would be 8 hours each, So this would be on the third day. So Felix is departing this after
On the third day.
Dude, so like you've all woken up and you're discussing your armor. So you're still there.
So it's
Just
like
about.
You should
it's made. Oramis
100%
decides he wants
do
it, and then Kaiman's like, I can make it better and like fit you better and stuff, but it might break.
Yeah.
Technology.
Can I help him with any of that? With my blacksmithing experience?
I would say you can help him on the blacksmithing check, and that is about it. The rest of it is
how many checks are there?
Like forge cleric ability of creating this magical armor. Pardon?
How many checks are there?
So there is a blacksmithing check, a straight wisdom check, and a what was it? And an attack roll with his hammer.
Okay. Yes, I think you should do it.
We've also got inspiration points, haven't we? All of us.
Yeah, you all
I-
need inspiration.
I was going to probably use one now.
Hold on, I might have a thing that can help you out. When you...
So,
14, but I get help, right?
this is for the blacksmithing check. Yes, which puts it to a plus
Hold on.
5.
This room.
8. Oh,
You got 18.
Yeah, you got 18, which is what you need for the major benefit. So that is your thing. Because sadly, you rolled before Felix did anyway.
Well, he's got it anyway. So
Next
it doesn't
up.
matter.
On the next check, I will provide him with a natural 20 divination roll that I've just rolled.
Okay.
I told you today was a good day, sir.
So Kaiman, yeah, you're stood there and you're thinking, oh yeah, he did tell me today was the day. I'm gonna do it. And fueled by this divination, but also Gylndan just sat there, sort of like this thought in the mind of him, laboring away over this thing and having this sort of connection. Yeah, Kaiman, you roll a natural 20 for a 24 on the next check.
Lovely.
Because divination wizards. So that means the final check you need to make is an attack roll with your thing. Are you using a divination wizard?
There we go.
Oh my god!
The power of my god compels me to kick ass and take names.
So
I was gonna
how
say,
did Luke end up with plus 10 armor?
The thing I was gonna give as well was an item inscribed with a rune, which which Felix can do, which doubles your proficiency bonus on blacksmithing checks. It doubles
was
your
it quite
proficiency
deep in your
bonus on
bag? Is that
tools
why
you're
you can get
proficient
out?
with, and I'm assuming you're proficient with blacksmithing checks,
Yes.
which would have made that a 23.
So, with 2 natural 20s in there, I'm also going to say, Kaiman, if you would like to change the type of armor it is, you can. It can't be heavy, but you can change it to breastplate, which would be no disadvantage on stealth.
But one lower DC, one lower AC.
But 1 lower AC. It's up to you and Oramis, I guess.
I'll leave it to Oramis. Would he rather?
Wait, sorry. Say what's up to
Would
Oramis?
you rather have 1 less AC but no disadvantage on stealth, or 1 more AC and disadvantage on stealth?
Did you say that the bonus of the armor went up if he was successful as well, or was it just the...
Yes. Now it's a sort of +3 armor.
Bloody hell. So you'd have 19 with no stealth disadvantage, or 20 with stealth disadvantage.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Because, the armor would be 17 or 18, plus dex.
Because the motherfucker wasn't hard enough to hit as it was.
See,
Ben, you see how you
Forge
create these
Baron.
problems?
Forge
thing
Baron.
is, so I've got the Cloak of Elvenkind,
Yeah.
which gives me a not disadvantage on.
The Cloak of Elvenkind gives you advantage on stealth checks if you're attuned to it.
Yeah, so
Are you attuned to at the minute?
so I'm currently attuned to the Cloak of damage resistance,
Yeah.
my eye,
Yeah.
and the Spellstone.
Yes.
So I could change out the cloak.
Your captain must have different fashions.
Should we just shove the Eye of Vecna in you as well? See what happens.
Hey, bro, I've got an eye socket spare.
Please do. That'd be so funny.
So Oramis took
Felix
the
is sailing away, and
by
suddenly like
force.
black lightning starts coming off the ship, and it's just like, I'm sure it's fine. Let's keep going. Just makes himself huge and
Don't look
starts
back.
pulling on a giant oar.
So I'm just weighing up with. I don't know what's
Luke, your day suddenly got really good.
Resistances.
so good. Because how many items can you be attuned to?
3.
Oh, only 3. Do I need to attune to this armor?
No.
Basically, guys, I'm weighing up whether or not I have the elven kind to give me advantage on stealth, which then cancels out the disadvantage and take the +3, which then means I can ditch the +1 AC cloak. Or do I take the disadvantage and have +1 and +3? No.
Well, you getting
Plus-
you've
yeah,
got, hang on,
plus
so you're
two.
What are you attuned to at the moment?
Sorry?
So
What are you attuned to at the moment?
I'm attuned to my +1 AC damage resistance cloak.
Okay. I mean, that's quite a good item, full stop, really.
Hmm.
And then what else are you attuned to?
My Eye of True Sight
Yeah.
and a spell stone.
And you have the... You're attuned to the spellstone.
Yeah.
I'll get rid of that if they might use it. Can you have 2 cloaks?
You can theoretically have 2 cloaks.
One on each shoulder?
I would say that
Wear one like a kilt.
you would have to wear the Cloak of Elvenkind because part of that is the hood. So while the hood is up, you have advantage on stealth check. The other cloak, you could theoretically just wrap around your
Could I, similar to how we're talking about Sam's staffs, take it to a master seamstress and get them merged into one cloak?
Theoretically, yes. It would be a little bit harder because the damage resistance cloak is a legendary item. So
Shit.
It is the magic is so powerful in it that combining them would be like the power difference in it is so vast that combining them would be very difficult and would take a lot of time and a lot of money. But it theoretically could be done.
Well, I think let's go with the one that gives me disadvantage on stealth.
Half plate.
That option.
Yeah.
So you'd have an AC of 20, but disadvantage on stealth, but an advantage on stealth, so flat stealth.
But I've also got a +1 cloak and damage resistance, so I have AC of 21.
Fuck me.
AC of 21. Not only AC of 21, but if you have a cloak of damage, that means you're now resistant to necrotic damage, cold damage, and another type of damage of your choice.
Boy, this is so good.
You're the problem, Ben. I don't know if you realised it.
I love it.
Massive AC, evasion, uncanny dodge.
Hey, it's fine. Luke's cursed. He can't be killed anyway. It's the rest of you.
We're protecting the wrong person. We should send him out there in his loincloth.
It's the rest of you. Come on, Paul. Don't worry.
Wow. Where was all this, Luke, when you were getting battered in the battle royale?
What is it that gives you proficiency
This
in medium
is why I
armor?
now have it. Sorry?
What is it that gives you proficiency in
Hexblade
medium
warlock.
armor? Is it because you're a
Hexblade
hexblade?
warlock. Yeah.
Okay. So, as you finish and craft this thing, Luke, you can change your AC accordingly. Note down your damage resistances, and note down somewhere that 3 times per day you can give yourself 10 temporary HP, just for free. It's sort of like, I mean, technically to do it you have to sort of touch the armor to do it, like touch your chest plate, and because it's sort of half plate armor, it's like sort of in sections. You have this like large chest plate, you have like a shoulder gauntlet, you have a sort of like side piece sort of protecting your hip on your sort of like sword arm side, you have like greaves and things, and you have gauntlets. So it's not like full plate, but it is, lots of pieces of plate essentially put together to arm you in a good enough fashion. It would mean that obviously you're putting things on over your coat. So some of your armor, like your shoulder gauntlets, you would have to put on slightly sort of over your cloak, and it is obviously made of white dragon scales, so it is a white, gleaming white armor. It's a little bit heavier than you're used to. Obviously, you've been wearing like studded leather and stuff all this time, so putting it on, it definitely takes a little bit of getting used to. Of like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm gonna need to be a bit more maneuverable in all this and things like that. But you are capable of wearing it, absolutely.
Is that a good time to take a little break?
I think that is a good time to take a little break as we say goodbye to Felix for now, I guess, as Felix hops on the other boat. Vaishal and Ponsky both give you a hug goodbye. And yes, you sail away into the sunset. Yeah,
as he's sailing off, Nathan's just going to come up next to Glyndon and go, "Did he want this?" and have the stuff of the Tempest.
My gift to you, young Nathan, as you grow as a wizard.
Oh, that's adorable. Just more for Sam to...
No, do you know what it is? Is that a couple people are giving me funny looks for having it, so he wants to get rid of it. It's actually an atrocity that it was taken from the culture that it was.
Slightly,
right. Anyway.
All right. I'll see you guys in 5 minutes, where we'll come back and head off to the Shattered Coast, I guess.
Bye.
enough heat with his hands and with the things he's got around him and stuff like that. And because obviously this is a seafaring thing, and I wanted Ryan to have something to do as Hyman, which you did, because I feel like it would kind of suck if you were stuck on the ship and no one was able to do some of the extra stuff. But there we go. In any case, we pick back up with everyone back. Hope everyone has a nice break. We pick back up very, very quickly as everyone is sailing away. We'll really, really quickly go to Felix. So, Felix, you arrive in Dawnport. Everyone, there is joy, there is merriment in Dawnport. Everything is going splendidly. You can see that now the city is okay. All the frost and ice and water has gone. It's, like a white dragon had never breathed frost across this place. Although there is still a lot of destruction and chaos still to rebuild. More guards have arrived, and as you enter the city, you can see many of them running around the walls of the city, and you quickly get it is quickly surmised to you that Hercule made them do laps around the city for being useless. The captain of these guards is one of the people running around the city. Hercule has essentially scared these guys into helping. But he does come to you to basically be like, hi, where are the Guardians? Oh, they're not here. I need to show you something. And he takes you into a small back room just while you're sort of there, while he has you for a quick few seconds, a small back room of the inn. And as you head into this back room, you can see a very large, sort of like this big, large white egg made from white scales. And he sort of stands there like, the other day I went to go check up on the corpse of the thing, and that was there now. I was hoping the Guardians would come back and tell us what to do with it, because I think that might be a dragon egg.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think there's only one thing to do here, Hercule, and that is omelette. No, I'm kidding, Leap.
I mean, I could whip up a quick something. I did make you some of that spider stuff. Hold on. And he goes into a back room, pulls out this like vial of black liquid that he called alcohol. But in it, you can still see some spider legs, like sort of floating around inside. Excellent stuff. Get you up and drunk right quick. That's a sweetness.
Well, why don't we put this somewhere safe? Would you like me to hold on to it?
Yes, I would like to not hold on to a dragon egg. That seems like a very good idea right now.
I will take that.
Yep.
Yep. Gylndan mentioned something about dragons before. I will let him know, and with his bippity-boppity booping around, I'm sure he'll come and tell us what to do with this, all in good time.
Yep. So I'm assuming that means you're going to cast Sending to tell Gylndan about the dragon egg.
But not straight away.
Okay. Not straight away.
No, Felix wants to study it for a little bit.
Okay. Like, how long do you think he'd study it? Like, while he's sort of doing his own thing, or?
I mean, he's got to make it from like Dawnport to. I don't know. They'll probably stay here for like a day or so. And then hit the road. Probably with some of the other like gnomes and stuff who live in the surrounding vicinity. So probably a couple of days.
Yeah, fair enough. Essentially, would you tell them before they get to? Would you tell them in the next 4 days before they get to the Shattered Coast?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, probably like 2 days. Just like a couple of days to like study it. And...
So yeah, we don't have to sort of RP it. Like, if you want to, we can just say that you send a sending spell and tell Gylndan that there's a white dragon egg here. How would you respond, Gylndan? What would you like to do?
I don't actually know if I can teleport with the egg.
Pretty sure you can, as long as you're holding like anything you're carrying. So as long as you have it on your person.
Okay,
Also,
I'll
if it
just
counts
go-
as
I'll
a
just-
creature,
yeah.
a teleport can do like multiple creatures.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just come and I'll teleport to it, and then I'll teleport circle to the north. I'll take it up to Albers.
Cool.
And
You
have him look after it. I'll tell him where it came from, and that I'm sure it has potential to be a good dragon, but it came from a very bad dragon.
for the sake of expediency, he does inquire a little bit about this dragon, and you can tell him as much as you would like to tell him about Arctothorn and what you found out.
Yeah.
He inquires a lot about Rashak, whether he was, whether he's still alive or whether you had to kill him.
He's dead.
That's it.
If we killed Rashak, does that mean that there is a black egg somewhere?
Oh, buried under rubble.
AKA Scrabble.
Upon assuming you would tell people, Gylndan, about this egg, Mazzy says, "Oh, yeah, I don't think the same would happen to Rashak. I mean, he was killed with a dragon-slaying blade, and I think certain blades can stop that magical effect from dragons going off. So, I don't think that's because we did some research on the Dragon War and things to learn about dragons, and one of the ways they stopped the dragons sort of reproducing was these blades, as it stopped them transforming into eggs. There's also other stipulations of them dying that mean that they can't transform into eggs. Like if they die to like magic and other things, they don't re-egg.
So it's a good thing this one was killed by a mundane person like Oramis. Just your run-of-the-mill pirate captain.
Just regular pirate captain.
So yeah, Felix, you've done some studying of this egg, and now it is north. Albers wishes you all well. Asks if to say hi to people, and you teleport back to the Vengeance. Is there anything anyone would like to do over the next couple of days? Travel.
I'd like to spend a bit of time training up Frank and Mace.
Okay. Yeah. You spend a good amount of time training those guys up. Are you training them more in sword combat, or in trying to teach them a little bit of magical?
A bit of both. Maybe like a day or two on sword combat, maybe a day on a little bit of magic stuff.
Okay. Just make me a straight charisma check.
Okay.
Can they become warlocks of the ship as well?
This is what I'm trying to see if it can happen.
Who needs
Or maybe
paladins
paladins
when we have
of
a crew of eldritch blasts?
Paladins of Oramis, maybe,
Obviously, this is only a they're not necessarily going to gain anything massive. That can be a longer.
Rubbish.
Yeah, there's only a couple of days. They take some of it in, but also they're very tired from long journeys and things like that. You think with a lot more time put into this, you can probably shape them into something decent. But now they're tired, you're tired. There's a lot going on in and around places. You're a little bit, you're not the best teacher in this moment. Anything else anyone would like to get on with during this couple of days?
A little bit of tutoring of Nathan, and then also sift through all of this year's papers and just find out if there's anything more on Yggdrasil.
Okay. Yeah. I'll go through some of the basics of that now. So yeah, training with Nathan. Nathan's doing great. He's more hyped than ever after he's fought 2 dragons and come out alive. He's almost like the dream student right now. He's like right at the peak of interest, I guess you would say. I'm sort of realizing that the stuff he's teaching me can very literally keep me alive, so I better listen. Now, the Yggdrasil tree. Make me either an Arcana or Investigation, your choice.
Oh, Yeah, can. 23.
And 23. So, there's a lot of information here about Yggdrasil, and it does take a lot of time to sift through it. All you find out is this. Nessia Nessia wanted to find Yggdrasil. And to do so, he had to gather many notes and papers from what is supposedly Vecna's own journal, Vecna's own spellbook. And in these notes and in deciphering all this stuff, you manage to find out some of the basics of that Yggdrasil is a thing that not anyone knows about. You, Nessia, maybe some Vecna's followers, if any of them are alive, and Vecna are possibly some of the only people to know about it, as well as some of the other gods that might know about it. It is supposedly a network that keeps all the planes together. It is the branch between every plane. It is the thing that connects all of them. When you plane shift, you travel between the branches. The astral sea, the place between planes, is technically the inside of the tree. Yggdrasil is essentially the network that the planes are made up of, supposedly. Now, this is all very, fascinating to you as you're reading through, but then it sort of gets a little more interesting because you realize that through Yggdrasil, supposedly, you can travel to any plane so long as you literally get to Yggdrasil and literally walk up the branches to any plane you want. That includes demi-planes created by other people. That includes demi-planes created by magic items, so theoretically you can walk into anyone's bag of holding and grab what you want.
Oh.
You can walk into any demi-plane created by any wizard from the spell demi-plane. You can, if someone casts banishment, theoretically you could go into Yggdrasil and pull them out of wherever they've been banished to. You could find that place and go into there. And Nessia does some theorizing, and he thinks that the reason Vecna was trapped away was because he realized that Yggdrasil, because obviously Vecna was a god of secrets, he traded lots of secrets with lots of beings to gain information, and somehow he learned of Yggdrasil. And through Yggdrasil, he might be able to travel to heaven, to not just Celestia, but Mount Celestia. So not just heaven, where good souls go once they die, but the places where the gods live. And if you go there, you can bind your soul to Mount Celestia, making you immortal and a god. The only way to kill such a being as this is through through, you don't really know what means, but you remember hearing about God's Bane, and that is, but that was crafted probably after Vecna's demise. But also, you suddenly get the realization and the idea that, wait, isn't Tiamat's plane locked away? And that's when the light bulb clicks and everything suddenly comes together. That's why Yara and Rashak and all the priests wanted these pieces of Vecna, so that they could try and bargain with him to find Yggdrasil, to go to the Yggdrasil tree and basically pull her out of her own plane. That was their plan. Also, obviously, cause chaos and increase her power so that when they do bring her back, or as maybe a backup plan, give her enough power so that she can break out herself. But this was sort of plan A, was get the pieces of Vecna, to bargain with him, find out how to get to Yggdrasil, and get back. Now, this is where it gets a bit tricky because he starts theorizing about, okay, so technically there's a piece of Yggdrasil everywhere. How would one get to Yggdrasil? Well, if there's a piece of Yggdrasil everywhere, if the world tree connects to everything, theoretically, there must be a branch of it here somewhere. There must be some physical connection to it. If you were to take that physical connection and use it as a sort of plane shift, thinks you might be able to teleport to the Yggdrasil tree. Maybe.
So there is one like branch in this plane.
He thinks yes, though he doesn't know. This is all him theorizing, and many, many years you can see of him theorizing and coming up with notes and ideas and different studies on it and on conjuration magic and teleporting magic. You also do think that, you know, Vecna knew of this place and he was banished away from the gods. Possibly because he went there, you don't know. So maybe this isn't a thing to be telling everybody about. Maybe telling your friends about. But you also find out that Nasir had a husband. His name was Johann. You would know from your studies, because this man once came to your college, Johann was the previous Archmage of Whiteman, the Elven City. He was the previous Archmage of Elves. However, Johann was a conjuration wizard, a very, very talented one, and started dabbling in places, new planes and places he could go, and he got lost. And though Nasir has tried every spell fathomable to try and find him, he has not been able to find him. And that's where the light bulb hits again. That was Nasir's plan. Nasir was trying to find Yggdrasil to find his husband. The roads he was taking to do this were clearly very dark ones, because he literally writes down and said to you guys that if he had to free Vecna to find him, that's what he'd do. But that is sort of, it's a rough couple of days of you reading this and then suddenly slowly realizing this stuff, and all these pieces are fitting together.
Well, I feel a little bit bad for killing this here, but only a little bit.
But also after these 3 days, you are somewhat enlightened as you realize, yeah, if we need to go and kill Tiamat, as long as we find this route, this piece to plane shift, in theory, we could go. And that is what your vision was in your mind. The vision you had when you looked upon the Eye of Vecna the first time. You realized that vision was possibly Vecna's own vision of seeing the Tree of Yggdrasil in person.
Is there any hint on where this thought this physical representation in our plane might be? Or
There is not, though, as a divination wizard who is particularly gifted in some things, you may be able to find out. You have spells. There are spells and other such things that could potentially find this information. You think it's probably not written in any book or anything like that. Evidently probably not written in any book, but through some things, because obviously you have the sage background, so you know how to get information if it's out there. You probably think, yeah, there are spells and other such things that could maybe help me find it. You don't know. But that's Yggdrasil. That's a bit of a lore dump for you. But clearly that is important. That is very important. But anything else anyone would like to do over the Kaiman? Is there anything you would like to do on the last couple of days sailing to the Shattered Coast, or are you good?
can you make some armor like you just did, but for weak people?
I don't know. Can I?
You don't have the materials to. You could buy materials in the Shattered Coast and try, but
I can make them. I have the
materials.
power.
I have a dragon scale if you want to use that.
I have
a
fabricate.
single dragon scale.
What can I do with fabricate?
To be fair, one dragon scale's enough to cover your entire puny body, isn't it?
Probably you have excess actually, I think.
That covers a single ab.
Oh,
yeah,
Glenn does not have abs.
Choose raw materials that you can see. You can fabricate. I thought I could with one scale. I could make more. I can make more scales.
Sadly,
fabricate,
no.
but I can't.
It works.
I can't. I tried.
Anyway, so after several days at sea, where nothing really goes wrong, it's a fairly calm sail towards your destination. You finally make it to the Shattered Coast. You dock up at the Shattered Coast. There is a group that sort of sees your ship and comes to the dock to sort of like watch you in. And yeah, you arrive at the Shattered Coast. JJ, if you would like to, because there's a lot of characters and people going on at the present minute, if you ever think that Baishal could do something, go right ahead. Just to give you something to do, so you're not sat there bored. You dock up at the Shattered Coast. Your crew work hard in sort of getting everything docked and things like that, and they quickly go into it's offloading time, it's making money time, it's repairing time, and things like that, and your crew sort of quickly get into the mode of all that stuff. And as you're all leaving, as you're all getting ready to go, Ponsky comes up to Oramis and sort of taps you on the shoulder with his bag already packed. He stood there and he says, Oramis, might I speak to you for a brief moment, just before this little excursion of ours truly ends?
Certainly. Would you like to come to my office?
Oh, yes, absolutely, probably. Just in a little bit of private, yes. And you step into your large captain's cabin. He says, I've been a bit nervous just to bring this up, but I feel us leaving, potentially going back to the Admiral, things like that, I thought I might bring it up. Have I done anything to you? I've had this feeling that there's something. I don't know, you seem to be distant towards me, a little cold towards. I'm not entirely sure. I'm worried I've offended you in some way or done something. And if I have, I apologize.
Ponsky, you're a good and honourable man, and therein lies my problem. Because you're standing in the way of what I want, and that is the Admiral's position. And I don't want you to get caught up in anything.
He stands there sort of still for a minute. Why do you want the Admiral's position? Are you going to harm him?
Maybe only his character, his reputation, if he has such a thing. I aim to do this peacefully, but I would seriously suggest you don't get in my way.
Ponsky sort of lowers his head and nods briefly, turns around and walks to the sort of edge of the room, walks the doorway, and then slides the lock to the door slowly to the side.
All right.
And he turns around and says, Oramis, I need your assurance right now. You will not touch a hair on that man's head. You will leave this Admiral business behind you, or I'm going to have to make things uncomfortable for the both of us.
Ponsky, I wouldn't try anything you'll regret.
I would say the same thing to you, sir. That man has been like a son, like a brother, like a best friend to me, and I will not see his reputation, see his position that he has worked all of his life for, and see everything we have built together thrown away to some idea you have had while taking a shit someday.
Quite literally, to be fair.
That's unbelievably accurate from Ponsky.
Some fancy of yours.
If that's the case, Ponsky, then I suggest you convince him to retire admirably. I can arrange for him to have comfortable lodgings, maybe even some guards to look after him. in return for a peaceful transfer to democracy in the Shattered Coast.
A smile comes over his face. Democracy, yeah. People don't even know the meaning of the word. Oh, this will be a cakewalk. Clearly don't know having fun here. Never mind, I'm no longer worried. He turns around and does the lock. Sort of looks back toward you. Been nice sailing with you, Oramis. Sorry I couldn't be of more use. Good day. He proceeds to walk off. Yes. And you're all left alone. But you've all arrived at the Shattered Coast. Now here's the interesting bit where I ask, what would you like to do? Oramis, how would you like to go about setting up this election? How would you like to begin this thing? Is there anything else anyone would like to do on the Shattered Coast?
I'll let everyone else say if they've got anything first, and then I'll.
My only and sole purpose is to make sure that Oramis does not do anything he'll regret.
And what will that be?
Or this countless murder of opposition party members.
Hey, look, the Shattered Coast is a dodgy place, you know. Who's to say that someone didn't fall to their death while drunk from the top of their tower? With a knife in their back and a couple of Eldritch Blast shots to the face.
Sounds like a good drink.
Who is to say? Kaiman, is there anything you'd like to do in the Shattered Coast? New city while you're here? Actually, yeah, you've never been to the Shattered Coast. So briefly to describe it.
Never been to a city.
And
Carmen, welcome.
yeah, you've never been to a city. So the Shattered Coast is
A shithole.
a place.
Imagine Cardiff in D&D.
It's a bit more like Swansea.
Swansea.
Imagine
the
Swansea
Shattered
built
Coast,
on a
as
load of
you can
sea
see,
stacks.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like a lot of sea stacks of like large stone. As you can see there, like buildings and streets are built sort of inside these large pillars of stone. The waves sort of wash up, up the sides of these things of stone. There's many layers. You can see loads of bridges, and as you're looking at these bridges, you're trying to think, how would I get from there to there? Well, I would start by going there, and then I would get lost immediately because this place makes no sense whatsoever.
I would swim.
And there is a giant bear on the coast.
I would travel like what's the bird? The way the bird travels, crow or something.
That's the crow.
That's the crow flies.
Yeah, so I would do that. Except I'd be like, okay, I need to go in that direction, and I just go that way.
Just walking through people's
There's
houses.
an obstacle, I go over it. If it's water, I go under it.
Yeah, it is this, as I say, this large, just expanse of like lots of different stone pillars and buildings built on top of them, inside of them, around them, pretty much ramshackled wherever they can. Think of like Tortuga from Pirates of the Caribbean or Nassau from like AC Black Flag or like real life, pretty much. It is this place where you can see lots of sort of sailor types, very much, like Oramis, or, like pirate types, or bandit types, or drunks, or thieves, many different, I dare not to say low lives, but certainly not the high society of
Scum and villainy.
Yes, hive of scum and villainy. Yes, very much, very Moss Eisley-esque. Is the Shattered Coast as you sort of get out and begin moving around. Yeah. So if there's nothing else, Oramis.
Kaiman has a genius idea.
Okay.
That he will like go outside of a bar or a pub, and he just have a little sign saying arm wrestling match materials for or earn money. So people challenge me to arm wrestling, and they have to what is it, offer, or they have to put forward material, and if they win, I pay them. If and they keep their material, or I win the material.
Okay. We'll quickly run through this then. Okay, so you do get, funnily enough, several people, almost all of them drunk. Roll me a straight strength check. In fact, roll me 3 straight strength checks.
Damn it! Oh damn it!
I haven't even got
God damn it!
I haven't even got my dice out yet.
I think you're good, Ben.
Yeah.
Probably good. But let's just double check. So.
So you know that 8k gold I got?
Okay. Okay, you actually won one of them.
Okay.
So you sit down, you begin sort of doing this stuff. Many people come up. You never really set a price for this, so people sort of just come up and ask, like for money, basically. And in this venture, sadly, you lose 50 gold.
Yeah, nothing.
But you gain several strips of leather, some guy's shoe, and lots of like, you know, when you more define, like, you know, like metal pieces, just lots of like, essentially just like lots of crockery, like, you know, metal flagons and forks and knives and basic like iron cutleries and iron things like that. Just basically like a bucket full of those. Nothing exceedingly like like proper armor making materials. If you want, you can just go find somewhere to buy some of that stuff. But otherwise, that's what you've got. You've got a shoe, some basic
Do you know
metal
what?
items, and some leather strips.
Do you know what I could do with a bucket of metal pieces and a guy's shoe?
Make a very nice shoe.
I could make one of the best shoes.
Okay, you have the fabricate spell. What is this? What is this fancy shoe that you're creating?
I wonder if I could turn it into like a deadly weapon. Just throw a heavy shoe at people.
You could turn it into like a kicking shoe, like one of those knight shoes with the pointy toes, a sabaton or something like that. I think that's what it's called.
Like your hammer fist, but for feet.
Yeah, just deadly stomps.
I am the weapon.
A bugbear halfway across the world just sort of looks up. I need you to buy something.
It's like, there is another.
A challenger approaches.
Although he has many great plans for this bucket of metal and a guy's shoe, he also realizes that he's been carrying around all this money that he's never had before. So he just tries to find a place that could get him what he needs.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, for the sake of it, we'll say that you spend a little bit of time looking around. You do eventually find a sort of a place where a lot of this sort of thing would be sold. A place that sort of sort of traders, place that sells a lot of parts and bits to blacksmiths and tanneries and other such places. So what would you like essentially? So you can buy leather to make leather armor. That'll be, we'll say, about 20 gold for enough for a set of armor. You can buy iron to make or steel to make proper armor. That'll be about 50 gold for one set of armor that you can sort of enchant. Or they have mithril. Mithril is essentially like as hard as steel, but half the weight. So you wouldn't have disadvantage on stealth checks when wearing it. That one will be 200 gold for a set, enough to make some armor.
That's nothing. Um, what's like, because everyone has medium armor. So what's like the best like
Heavy
that
armor is the
mithril chainmail? Would that be like medium?
yeah, chainmail I believe is medium. Yes. Yeah, chain shirt is medium. Chain shirt is medium. Chain mail is heavy.
What's the best medium stuff I can make?
The best medium stuff. So if you look at like D&D armor, so the
D&D.
best is probably half plate. Half plate is 15 plus dex to a max of 2, or breastplate is 14 plus dex to a max of 2. Half plate gives you disadvantage on stealth checks. Breastplate doesn't.
I
There's also
think
scale,
I
which
will
is-
get mithril to make half armor.
Okay, mithril to make half plate armor. Take away 200 gold, and you have a bunch of mithril. And we can work on making some armor in time. Anything else from anyone else before we go into Oramis's election campaign, I guess?
Nope.
Cool. Right, so Oramis, down to you. What is it you are thinking of doing for this election campaign?
Well, first things first. I'm going to give my crew a little cheeky little bonus and encourage them all to go and make merry and spread many a tale of the heroics and deeds of their captain, killing a beholder, slaying a dragon, wearing said dragon's scales as his armor, and such forth. So I'm going to give each one of my crew members a little extra gold piece on top of the pay I've already given them. Also encourage them to just, spread the word about how proper, primo, de campo the pay is under Oramis.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Yes, your crew happily head out, begin spreading the good word of Oramis, the Vengeance, and the Guardians, essentially. Yeah, great. That's step number one.
Step number one. Step number two is to seek out the captain that I sent a little letter to.
Yes, the captain of the Silk Arrow, Miss Lady Jane. Yep, she is very easily found. She's in one of the main taverns in this place, and you can easily find her and her men. She, as you sort of enter in and approach, you remember she is this sort of half-elven woman. She has this sort of ginger hair, like long ginger hair, long sort of like black coat, and she wears this hat, this like wide-brimmed, very, very wide-brimmed hat with a red feather, and it's sort of like the hat is almost like folded up on one side. She has this like massive cutlass, like this very, very broad cutlass on her side. And she sort of like sat there with a lot of her crew, kicking back, relaxing as you arrive. Like, oh, there he is, our captain. Well, not my captain, but, captain of whatever this venture is. You certainly took your time in getting back here. So, sure, I'm in. What's the plan? I've already done some things. I made posters.
You made posters?
Yes, they're a bit shit though. I couldn't quite remember what you look like, and trying to tell someone who can draw what you look like is pretty bad. So here you go. And she just shows you a bunch of pieces of paper with someone that looks nothing like you. Like some of the basic features are right, like the the beard, the slick back hair, and the coat and things like that. But otherwise, look pretty much nothing like you.
Well, that's a start. I take it you'll support my venture then.
So long as I can get a pretty office, maybe there's a little bit of cha-ching in it for me. And also, I will be needing some real estate in this place, of course, because
Certainly.
every good captain needs a little bit of real estate on them to make a little extra cha-ching and have somewhere to go when I'm sick of the ocean. Also, Frank over there said he's in, but he wants a hat. And you look over, and it's just this very large Goliath man, bald Goliath man, stood there. He has like 2 teeth, essentially, like on the bottom row, and maybe 3 on the top, and he just gives you this like wide, toothless grin.
Can I flick him a silver piece and say, treat yourself?
He takes it and giddily runs off outside. Ah, excellent, we got Frank on side. That was a hard bargain.
I'm sure that was worth it.
Definitely.
Oh, he's a big brute.
Excellent.
A lot of hits. I've seen him take about like maybe 12 arrows to the chest, and that was just because we were shit at aiming. We needed a target, and he has a tattoo on his. And he has a tattoo on his back of a target. What are we meant to do?
Well, anyway, down to business.
Yes, of course.
I can offer you a fancy office in the Admiral's quarters, which, you know, that will be my quarters. And in return for your support of you and your crew, you'll be my second in command. You can run this place when I'm not around. Obviously reporting to me.
I wasn't aware that was part of the deal. I still like going around and being a good little girl out at sea.
Well,
so
that's quite all right.
We may need someone else for that. I just wanted a place to go when I'm home. Also, how are we going to do this? Are we just going up there and shanking him? Is that happening now?
Well,
I thought that was a joke.
We'll try and do this legit first. These fools, they don't need to know it's not official. I'm gonna set up a ballot at the docks, let everyone know what day to come and who to vote for. There's only 2 options. Me.
You know, legit here is fighting, right? That's what legit is. You fight for the position of admiral.
Oh, another duel, Oramis. Oh.
No one can count that high.
Well, you know, I'll try and give him a coward's way out first before I shank him.
Ah, smart. Get rid of his image. I like it.
Fine. I tell your crew to spread word 3 days hence at the docks. Oramis, Dragon Slayer, Beholder on Holder, or the Admiral, who will turn us over to the king and his merry men.
Wait, so it's you, a Dragon Slayer, a Beholder on Holder, and the Admiral, or are you?
Oh, fucking hell!
I would vote for the Beholder on Holder.
I am Oramis, Lone Hand, Dragon Slayer, and Beholder on Holder.
Lone Hand. We're going to need to change that name, otherwise people are going to start wondering what you do after hours.
I am Oramis, Captain of the Vengeance, Dragon Slayer, Beholder on Holder.
I like that one. That one's a lot stronger. We're going to stick with that one.
Wife died a long time ago, so he is lonely with his hand.
Good. And she sort of like looks at her crew, and there's a bit of a silence. Well, get fucking on with it then. And all the crew like quickly get up and leave, and she just steals one guy's plate of food that he was having. Does munch on that.
And yeah, I'm gonna walk away from that, and I'm going to then use my cheeky little ability, which I've not used yet, which allows me to disguise self as anyone.
Okay. Who are you disguising yourself as?
The Admiral.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna spend the rest of the day going around telling everyone.
Go spit in some urchins' bowls and stuff like that.
They probably like that. Some guys. I don't know.
Oh, liquid.
I'm just gonna go around talking about how I think we get this place ship shape, but not literally because I don't like ships anymore. And I think we should start paying taxes to the king, and I think we should get the king's men in to sort this place out and really, get it looking more like a proper city.
Okay, roll me a performance check.
Okay. I really wish it was persuasion.
So literally, oh, that's not bad.
Oh.
Literally, hear Luke gag as he thought you were going to say persuasion. Oh fuck!
I'll take a 24 though.
So you spend some time outside. Obviously, you can cast it at will, can't you? Or is it once per day?
Where are you?
Is it Mask of Many Faces?
Mask of Many Faces,
That's
yeah.
not well.
Yeah, without expending spell slots, so.
Yeah, so you can just keep that up pretty much for the whole day. And it also does your voice as well. So you, go outside and you start proclaiming all these things. And you begin gathering a little bit of a crowd of people who are like, no, but surely not. Like, seriously. What the hell, no? And eventually, you find yourself almost being cornered into a corner by a very large mob of people. Slowly but surely, a very large mob of people begins cornering you in, we'll say you're in a sort of like, square type marketplace. Not a massive large one, maybe like 60 feet across, 60 feet back. And this 60 feet is almost filled, almost entirely, by people shouting at you, screaming at you, throwing things at you. But the 24, it takes you a couple of hours to do this, but this pretty much happened, and you are now sort of in this corner with lots of people. A couple of people have come to your aid, people that are clearly guards of the Shattered Coast, and they're sort of and they sort of like keep people back and like, all right, stay back. Clearly, the admiral's just had a lot to drink. Everyone, stay back. A bottle sort of flies by and smashes right next to you. Later on, a knife just into a wall, like 2 feet to your right. People are getting very angry, and you are now trapped and cornered. Gylndan, you have been watching. I mean, have you been watching all of this going on?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
intrigued to see what disguised Oramis does.
Are you in the crowd? Are you outside the crowd? Or are you...
He's the guy that threw the knife.
Oh shit! I missed.
What, I missed that.
Yeah, I'll just be in the crowd watching it.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, this crowd is getting very, very heated, and it looks like any minute this crowd is going to break through and get you. Oramis, you have like maybe a turn before this crowd pushes through and just starts slamming their way towards you. People are drawing swords, knives, smashing bottles. The full nine.
People. Men, women, goats of the Shattered Coast. If you are,
call us goats. No, maybe we'll see.
if you are unhappy with my proposed changes for this place, I suggest we have an election in 3 days hence at the docks. I hear there is one other candidate standing, and his name is Oramis. You can choose between me and the Dragon Slayer, Oramis of the Vengeance. If you dislike my rule so much, let's put it to the ballot.
I'll just lean to the guy next to me and say, Admiral sounds a little bit different, doesn't he?
No,
I
with
literally
Elvis
don't.
sounds exactly the same.
No. His what he's saying doesn't sound like the Admiral, does it?
I'm confident, sir. Confident that people will see.
Oh, go on then, have your persuasion check.
Can't wait for this to be a nat one.
Come on, 5% chance. Oh,
Oh,
fucking hell,
my
that's not.
God.
So disappointing.
Oh, fucking hell. Yeah, so you say this, and you manage to somewhat quell the crowd, as like most of the crowd are like, an election, eh? Yeah, we'll see what fucking happens at this election now, and many people begin to go. So in this crowd of maybe 50 to 60 people, about maybe 30 of them go, The rest of them are still sort of stood around being like, what's, you've heard of an election, right? That's the thing where we vote. Yeah, cool. And they're just sort of confirming. They each know what that means, what a ballot is, and all that sort of stuff. But eventually the crowd does majoritively disperse, and people go. It does take you a little bit, of pushing and shoving to still make it out of this place. And one of the guards who's been guarding you at this point just turns around and is like, Admiral, I don't mean to speak out of turn, but are you feeling okay? You said you want the king's army in here. Isn't that exactly what this place isn't about? What are you quite all right?
I think it's time for change, don't you?
I'll see you at the election, sir. I'm just gonna go make sure everyone's gone. Come on, boys. And he moves many of the people away. Did you say in 3 days' time the election is?
Yeah.
Okay. So the first day, pretty much goes, you can, at your own leisure, transform back into Oramis or into the Admiral, whichever you choose. What would you like to do for the rest of the day then? Let's say that took you up until about sort of 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
I would then spend the rest of the time as Oramis, regaling everyone I meet with tales of my valor and how I love the Shattered Coast and how it's the perfect place for me.
Okay. So sort of gets to about sort of 7, half 7. You're in. You're sort of walking the streets in. No, you said you're out sort of talking to people. I'd probably say that's best done. You would know in a tavern. If you're going to get anyone to listen to you anywhere, you're going to go into a tavern. And you are in one of these very sort of standard taverns. It's not a very big place. Sort of like candlelight sort of flickering, just about lighting the interior. It's got a big sort of wide open area. You can tell this is a place where a lot of music is played. There's sort of open space for dancing. And you've got up on the stage where a lot of this music would be played, and you're saying a lot of this stuff. And rumors have gone round by now of what the Admiral has done. And there is a bit of a change between, there is, not everyone in the city is stupid. So a lot of people are thinking, oh, surely that wasn't real. Surely that wasn't him. We know the Admiral. He's been, with us for years and years and years. He's transformed this place and he has plans for this place. We know this. Surely he doesn't want the King's army in here. Surely he doesn't want anyone in here. But there's also the other side which is saying, but people can change, and with the changes that are happening all over the world and yada, yada, yada. And there's a bit of a imbalance. And it gets to about sort of 7, half 7 when suddenly the doors slam open, wide open, and a group of about 12 to 15 men, armed better than most people here, general sort of pirate types, step into the room. And one of them, a large sort of half-orc individual, armored in sort of like, like a large chain shirt with a sort of like captain's coat over it, steps in. Oh, we're in here for Oramis. The Admiral wants a word. Is he here? Looks around, sees you up on the stage. Admiral wishes to speak to you. Now. He and the other 50, the other 40 dudes.
At what point in time is this? Is this like the same day, or is this like?
I would say so. You would get to the Shattered Coast by about sort of maybe 10, 11 a.m. You would get there fairly early in the morning.
Not even a day has passed, and
not even a day has passed in the Shattered Coast,
cool.
And word is already getting around. Word moves fast in a place where everyone's too drunk to whisper. And so, Oramis, you are stood. I say, Gylndan, you're in here too with Oramis if you would like to be. Kaiman, you probably by this point would be searching for dinner, so you can be here as well if you would like to.
He's outside losing his 50th arm wrestle.
Yeah. Vaishal is also here, and he's been hanging out with you, Gylndan, pretty much just following you around. because he doesn't want to get into the politics of anything, but he's also just having kind of a fun time, just laughing at Oramis and watching things go to shit. So Oramis, you're stood on this stage, and about sort of 15 guys into the room, and sort of stand there. The Admiral wants a word.
Whatever for?
Matters of politics, he said. We're to bring you in.
Ladies and gentlemen, listen to this. He tries to silence me, his only adversary. He'll sell you to the king and to the king's men. He'll destroy everything this wonderful place stands for. He's trying to silence me. Look at this happening before your eyes. I'll not stand for it.
Okay. Make me... Jesus Christ. Make me a persuasion check. See if you can sway the...
Oh, guys, only a 22.
People.
I like to imagine at some point Vaishal just like leans over to Glenn and is like, what's the criteria for being Admiral? Is Oramis the only one allowed to stand?
You can stand if you want, but I think it's just if it came to it. But honestly, if it came to a massive brawl,
I'm trying to keep a
you
low
know,
profile.
whoever would
I'm
win
just
that.
wondering, wouldn't it be funny if an unseen third party came up and usurped them both?
Hilarious.
I saw a very fine lady actually. I think he was on a ship called the Silver Arrow or something like that, or maybe it was the Silk Bow or something.
No, I think she's an idiot, but then I think that's commonplace in this city.
Yes.
So with a 22, a lot of the crowd does begin to sort of like look towards these individuals and start shouting and screaming at them, and they're just like, "Or you're only making this harder." Or he just wants to talk. Is all he said. Please don't. And then someone runs up to one of these guys with a bottle, trying to smash him over the head, and this orc individual just punches his lights out before he can get 5 feet of him. He's like, "Don't make this harder than it needs to be. We do not need war in this place again."
Tell the Admiral if he wants to talk, he can find me on my ship. Alone. But I won't be alone. He'll be alone.
The crowd begins to build up. A lot of people are like, "Yeah, face him like a man," things like that. And these sort of 15 dudes look at each other. A lot of them start sort of like looking to their swords and things like that, but the half-orc sort of raise their hand like, no. We'll relay the message. Good night, all. Please don't burn down this fucking city. And they all begin to leave. So they've all left. The evening passes. Interject at any point if there's obviously anything anyone would like to do, but the evening sort of passes. You have a few drinks, you have food. With that persuasion check and things sort of happening in this display, food is pretty much on the house for you guys here in this tavern that you're in. And I mean, are you heading back this evening to your ship?
Yeah, I'll head back to my ship. This evening, I don't know about everyone else.
Yeah, it's funny to watch you do your thing.
Okay, so you head back to your ship. It gets dark. It is dark on the docks. There are many sort of people in and around the docks sort of having drinks, boats still coming in and out. Sort of, the Shattered Coast works pretty much 24/7. So people are still coming in and out. People are still ranting and raving up the streets. A lot of sort of drunkards, and there is a quiet lull, not only at the sea, but at the snoring of many crews sleeping on their own ships rather than buying places in and about the place. And Oramis, you being sort of where on your ship do you think you'd be right about now?
I mean, I'm not sleeping. I guess I'm just kind of in my cabin. But yeah, not asleep or anything.
Okay. There is a knock on your door for your cabin. and it is Mason. And he sort of pops his head and says, "It's the Admiral, Captain. He's here to talk."
Okay, fetch the others and meet him on deck.
Sure thing. And he goes, "Each of you this evening, Gylndan, Kaiman, Vichal, everyone sort of gets a knock at their door. There's the Oramis wants you on deck. The Admiral's here, apparently." Yeah. And as Mason leaves, you can all make it up to the deck. Whereupon you can see maybe 3 or 4 of your crew on the deck of the Vengeance, sort of like stood keeping watch. Basic things, sort of while you're here, making sure no one steals anything from your ship, sort of on deck, but also looking at a figure stood in the center of your deck. It is in fact the Admiral, dark-skinned man, sort of hair sort of in dreads, sort of pulled back into a sort of like man bun type thing. He has this very very fine sort of trimmed moustache and beard. Long sort of purple coat he's adorned in. He does have a weapon. He does have a cutlass on his side. And he sort of stands to you, sort of pulling this sort of like belt, adjusting it slightly, dusting off a little bit here and there, looking around your ship. And as you approach, Oramis, lovely to see you. I was hoping we might have a chat, alone maybe, about what the fuck you think you're doing to my city.
I believe the phrase is providing a new option.
Let me get this straight. What happened while you were... We left on good terms. What happened? Why now do you want to suddenly be Admiral? What fantasy are you living in?
It's called Dungeons and Dragons, my friend.
Running the Shattered Coast is not as easy as it seems. Trying to keep this rabble at bay requires almost constant care. And I have laid out a very delicate plan over the last 15 years of me running this place, which is slowly but surely coming into effect. A plan that I would like to point out to everyone here does not involve the king whatsoever. It involves bringing a little bit of society into this place. Not the society of Ambyr, but its own unique culture. Bringing this place out from the sewers that it is at the minute. You're going to come in and... Why?
I desire power, status, and I think I could do a better job than you.
Well, you really think you could do a better job than me? Doubtful. I've seen your status in your crew. You wouldn't survive a day. Not that you ever will actually get the position, of course. This one was too afraid to take me on. I mean, the idea for an election certainly didn't come from me. Is that because you, Oramis Lonehand, are too scared at the idea of a man-on-man duel with me?
I had a man-on-man duel not so long ago with a far greater adversary than you.
Oh, yes, the little boy Hallowhand. Yes, I'm sure that was amazing.
Hand.
Sure. I'm sure it was obviously a man-on-man duel. One-on-one, was it?
Absolutely. That's how I came into possession of this boat.
And you're sure it was man-on-man? No help?
None that I'm aware of. other than perhaps fate?
I have a friend who might say otherwise.
Interesting.
He sort of begins to step closer to you and whispers just loud enough for you to hear it and says, "Let's not do this, Oramis. The people here don't need to know what you've done, what you've taken, how you'll be a wanted man in Hawksmoor here for what you took. I have a silver-scaled friend who has some debts to pay off, and has so humbly requested that I help him in this matter. If you know what's good for you, Oramis, you will back down."
Who's the silver-scaled friend?
I don't know what he's on about.
Did you
You
fleece
recall-
the Hawksmoor diadem to a silver dragonborn or anything like that?
I don't think so.
Well, when he mentions silver-scaled, at first you're a little confused, but then a sort of shiver comes up your spine, as you remember your previous patron, the god of mischief and tricks, was often seen in the form of a silver serpent.
Oh, fuck.
And he did say he would have his revenge. He did say you would regret your decisions.
Oh, you got. I'm just reading the notes. You got mega mint for the diadem.
Yeah, I got a bit.
Got about 2,500 gold.
Yeah.
Let's not do this, Oramis. Don't make me fight dirty. But, and he says, much louder to Ron, if the man wants an election, oh, I can give him an election, of course. 3 days' time. I'll meet you here if that is your desire. Or you can just face me now and we can be done with this problem.
I'd rather do this without the need for violence. I wouldn't want to hurt you.
Shame. I was hoping to have a little fun this evening. Oh well. The Admiral turns around, begins to walk away. Goodbye, Oramis. See you in 3 days. This is going to be fun. And he leaves. And I think that, as you're all stood on the deck of the Vengeance, is where we will leave this session today and pick up next week with... We'll probably just go a basic run through of the 3 days, what you'd like to get up to, and then potentially run with the actual election itself in 3 days' time. Unless anyone has any better plans or ideas or anything they would like to be doing. JJ, I'll give you Baishal's. Oh yeah, you guys know about Baishal and he's a dragon now, so I can give you a sheet. So that during this time you can have the players.
Yeah, if you could give me a
yes.
little bit of his a couple of notes and just sort of like his personality traits and like motivations and stuff, so I can. Otherwise, it will probably just come down to me screwing with Luke.
Yeah, we'll sort all through all that stuff in the week. But yeah, hope you all enjoyed this session. Apologies, it went very election heavy toward the end, but thus is the price of politics. But I'm very interested to see what you get up to solve this problem. As yes, it seems your previous patron has some unfinished business.
Right. See all you chappos next week.